Monaco Grand Prix. It's mission accomplished.
It is one of the most glamorous locations in sport.
The word that first comes into my head is luxury.
Here come the lights of one of the greatest.
He's got to go all in at the casino here.
Formula One is racing on the streets of fulfilled. You've got that one forever.
Every year, around late May or early June, the crown jewel of motorsport takes place at the Circuit de Monaco in Monte Carlo. The extremely challenging track is known for its narrow, twisty streets and harsh elevation changes, and is renowned as the most prestigious, demanding and dangerous races in all of F1. Beyond the high-speed spectacle on the track, the glamorous and breathtaking tourist setting attracts celebrities and big spenders from all around the world. The 2024 event, which went down on the 26th of May, was graced by the likes of footballers Kylian Mbappe and Virgil van Dijk, actors Matt Damon and Jared Leto, and even British royals Princess Beatrice, Zara Tindall, and her rugby legend husband Mike Tindall. The Monaco Grand Prix is the one race that perfectly depicts just how extravagant the sport of F1 can get, but just how much money goes down in this one weekend at one of the world's most attractive tax havens. Welcome to Economic View, where today we'll dive into the insane economics of the Monaco Grand Prix. First of all, a little background. The Monaco Grand Prix, one of the three races making up what's known as F1's Triple Crown, is quite different from the other races in the sport. Aside from having run uninterrupted since 1955, of the 24 Grand Prix in F1's annual calendar, Monaco currently pays the lowest hosting fees at a conservative $20 million. I know what you're thinking, that's the lowest. Well, all the other hosts fork out between $28 and $57 million each for the privilege of hosting a Formula One race. These hosting and promotion fees make up the bulk of Formula One Liberty Media, F1's owner's revenue for the year. So, if this is how F1 makes money, why is it so lenient with Monaco? It comes down to two things. Firstly, prestige. Motorsport fans would riot if one of the jewels in Formula One's Triple Crown suddenly fell off the calendar, which gives Monaco a strong hand in negotiations. But most importantly is location. Nicknamed the Billionaire's Playground, Monaco has been a desirable destination for the ultra-wealthy for over a century, since the Principality stopped collecting income tax from its residents in 1869. But let's take it back a little further. Monaco's vibrant economy can be traced back to their very first casino. The establishment was an unprecedented success thanks to the railroad connection to Paris. Wealthy people could travel easily to the coast to indulge in their guilty pleasures and hopefully make some money before retreating to their upper-class Parisian lives. Sounds awful, doesn't it? The casino made so much money that the tiny seaside principality didn't see the need to continue taxing its residents. Soon enough, the rich began to see Monaco as not just an entertainment hub to escape to, but also a great place to live in too. Before long, there were even more businesses, including other casinos and entertainment spots, as well as residential property developments dotted around the country. Today, things haven't changed much, and the only barrier to owning a home on the Monaco coast is to be one of the wealthiest people on the planet. Many of the ultra-rich have done just that, establishing a home in Monaco and residing there at least 3 months each year to qualify as a tax-free resident. The country's small scale, spanning about 2.1 square kilometers, creates a sharp imbalance in supply and demand, making their real estate market one of the most expensive on the planet. On average, a home in Monaco goes for 5 to 10 million euros. That's nearly 5 times the average you'd pay for a home in Manhattan, which is currently the most expensive neighborhood in the United States. Among the 30,000 people who live in Monaco are millionaire athletes, entertainers, and entrepreneurs. More importantly, many F1 drivers have residences in Monaco or even born there, such as this year's winner, Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc. This rich history, allure, and exclusivity, as well as the capacity for big spending on entertainment, is a big reason why Formula One is ready to accept a lower upfront payday for bigger gains down the track. Recent reports indicate that Formula One intends to renegotiate the hosting fees for the Monaco Grand Prix when the current contract with Automobile Club de Monaco ends in 2025. We'll hear more about that later in the video. In the meantime, the small country sees nearly 200,000 visitors flow in for just 1 week a year to watch the race from the grandstands, hotel balconies and terraces, and of course luxury yachts and speedboats in the harbour. This figure might not sound like much, but it is nearly 7 times the population of the little principality throughout the rest of the year. Beyond the hosting fees, organisers spend astronomical sums to prepare the road circuit every year. Even though current F1 race figures aren't available to the public, the Monaco Grand Prix operating budget from 10 years ago was listed at around $35 million, with the government subsidising $7 million from the total budget. If we adjust that for inflation, that's a little over $45 million in 2024. That's on top of the $20 million paid just to host. Sure, this could be considered modest when you compare it to, say, the estimated $500 million budget F1 itself spent to organise the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix in 2023. But then more than half of that budget went to the purchase of the land in which the pit and paddock complex was built. Most of the Monaco Grand Prix money goes to preparing the circuit for the races, completely resurfacing the roads, building the grandstands, pit lanes, garages, media centres, and over 20 miles of barriers. This monumental effort takes over 200 construction workers, a staggering 6 weeks to complete, with 3 weeks after the race to remove. The costs are reportedly so high that the event doesn't make much profit from its main source of income, grandstand ticket sales, which, as of the 2024 event, start from as high as €1,000 on Racing Sunday. But it's not just a race organiser spending tens of millions of dollars. The 10 participating F1 teams spend millions themselves on the race alone. F1 caps team annual spending at $135 million per team as they compete for the over $1 billion prize pot. But it's reported that each team spends between $5.4 and $13.5 million on the Monaco event, a budget that doesn't include the average 3 cars and several spare engines they bring to the race. If you include those mechanical costs, which range from $2.8 to as high as $7 million per car, each team spends more than at least $15 million in that one weekend. That said, it's the fans attending the event who are the biggest spenders. The Monaco Grand Prix has the smallest ticketed capacity of any F1 race. But to put it into perspective, 37,000 official spectators watch the event from the stands. That's more people than the official residency of Monaco. Because of the incredible demand for tickets, the box office for 2024 ranged from between €195 and €7,000 per ticket depending on the ticket type and the day, with Sunday being the most expensive. This official attendance, though, is nothing close to the over 150,000 other spectators who watch from hotel balconies, terraces, and luxury yachts, which means big business for local businesses. Speaking of yachts, the event attracts an impressive fleet of high-end nautical eye candy to Monte Carlo's bay. On Grand Prix weekend, the harbour is home to over 5,300 yachts, many of which make their way to Monte Carlo to watch the world's best drivers make history on the tarmac. This year, that fleet included showstoppers like the Renaissance, a 367-foot-long super yacht worth a jaw-dropping $200 million. Also spotted was the Lionheart, which is currently worth $150 million, the Fountainhead, whose value stands at $130 million, and the Coral Ocean, whose market value is $100 million, to name just a few. But the elite who sail into the Principality every year don't just come to watch the race, they come to dine and to party, because for this one weekend a year, Monte Carlo doesn't sleep. Hotels are fully occupied, with a 3-star room going for at least €8,200 each, while celebrities and entrepreneurs fill luxury cabins on yachts for at least €26,000 a night. That's if you book months in advance. As for the bars and clubs, these are packed till dawn, with the most exclusive after-race party going down at the Amber Lounge. Dubbed the pioneer of Grand Prix party culture, this is where the top F1 drivers such as Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, as well as A-list celebrities, come to celebrate. Here, reserving the most basic cocktail table goes for between €5,200 and €6,500, depending on the day, and the most premium as much as €35,000 for the weekend. The extravagant after parties have entered F1 books as some of the best, if not the best, with many F1 drivers, and especially the Grand Prix winner, partying well into the early hours of Monday morning. By the time the event ends, the local economy is the biggest winner. An estimated $110 million on average is spent in the local economy during race week, with nearly 2/3 of that being spent in the last 4 days of the event alone. In fact, a study of the economic benefits of the 2017 Monaco Grand Prix by Monegasque Institute of Statistics and Economic Studies suggested that an estimated €90 million was spent in local businesses in just 4 days. When you add this onto the hundreds of millions spent across hosting fees, operating budgets, team budgets, and the variety of high-end private parties and events held throughout the week, it is no surprise to learn that this race is the single most important economic event held in the Principality. For nearly 6 decades, Monaco has enjoyed the privilege of hosting one of the most prestigious sporting events on the planet, and has generated over an estimated $6.9 billion in total revenue to their economy in that time. However, as Liberty Media and Automobile Club de Monaco near the end of their current agreement in 2025, the future of the race is, for the first time in a long time, in doubt. F1 want to raise the hosting fees, but it's not clear how much more they'll ask for or whether the host will accept the new terms. But after 6 decades, Liberty Media has stronger negotiating grounds than ever, as a loss of this event to the economy of Monaco would be devastating. And from F1's side, even though the Monaco Grand Prix is one of the true highlights of their sport, there are new money candidates eager to take their place and pay considerably higher for the privilege. A good example is Thailand, which is rumoured to be in talks to host a new Grand Prix road circuit through the streets of Bangkok. In fact, the Thai Prime Minister recently hosted Formula One boss Stefano Dominicali and pitched the government's vision. So, will Monaco's hosting streak continue? Which other sporting events impact local economies on this sort of scale? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And for more deep dives into the world of wealth, investment and opportunities, subscribe and join us next time on Economic View.